Hello, my fellow Pisces. Welcome to May 18th, the weekly reading. Let's just jump right in here. I think it's going to be a great week for all Pisces, really. When I do my Pisces readings, by the way, I separate myself from the reading because it does affect, will affect the reading. So just so everybody knows that. A lot of people ask if they can read for themselves, basically at home, and I don't find it to be accurate at all, because you put your own, stuff onto your card. So I always make sure when I read my own sign to separate myself from the reading. Just make sure it's for everybody else, of course. But first, you have the Jack of Hearts. This is you, plain and simple. This is Pisces right here. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. I don't attach sex to my cards, as I say. And this is you. You're coming in. You're feeling very positive this week. I think Pisces, is finally feeling the positivity. Finally, I mean, after so many years of just a lot of tests and trials and experiences, really, that have been testing us, and a lot of these things happening, a lot of things that seem bad, and all these things that come in. I think it's a very mental week, but you're finally feeling good. The funny thing is that you get the Three of Diamonds. The Three of Diamonds is a very interesting card. Pisces can be very entrepreneurial. Steve Jobs is a Pisces. I mean, there are just many other, I think Pisces dominate the world's millionaires and billionaires. It's dominated by Pisces, basically. It's one of the most successful signs, really, even though people don't associate it with success. It's a strange thing. But, like I said, Pisces are very creative. That's why they can, and they're very psychic as well. So they can predict things that are going to happen, and that they make a ton of money. I mean, they're innovators. Like I said, Steve Jobs, one of the best innovators that has ever existed, really. But the Three of Diamonds is a funny card because it's one of those cards where what its meaning was always explained to me as when I was younger and learning about this. Is that it's a card of having multiple things, which is very Piscean, to have multiple businesses. Like a lot of Pisces will have multiple businesses, or they'll have a job, but they'll also be working something else, and it's one of those things of working on multiple things and having stuff coming in, but still worrying about the lack. So it's like you have enough coming in, and you might even have multiple things providing you income now, or you might have multiple jobs, or whatever. But you're still thinking about that lack. You're still worrying about the lacking finances and things like that. I think this has to do with Mercury retrograde, which again I think is going to be a very positive retrograde. But I think that's where this worry is coming in. I don't think you have to worry about it. I think this week, you're going to be birthing something new. I think a lot of your ideas are going to be, coming out and coming true and things like that. It's Five of Diamonds. A couple other signs have actually had this card this week, which is interesting. But it's like the birth card, and it's not necessarily like a physical, actual birth. It's the birth of an idea, or the birth of better times, really, is really what it is. It's, the old problems just totally going away, and success coming in is really what this card means. Next, you have the Queen of Hearts, which you get the Jack of Hearts, so this is the Queen of Hearts. This is typically a very motherly figure. It doesn't necessarily have to be your mother, but it's typically somebody who is mothering you. I'm feeling like advice coming in from somebody else. If you're in a relationship, this could be your significant other. Again, doesn't have to be male or female, doesn't matter. And them being very supportive, like kind of giving you that mothering type of thing. So again, it doesn't mean they're babying you, but it just means they're, somebody is going to be there to support you through everything and kind of lift you up and support you in whatever you're doing. And then finally, you have the Seven of Clubs. Plain and simple, this card is business success. That's what its literal meaning is. I see a lot of that coming in. It's something that you've worked for too. This is always something. This isn't like a lottery or anything like that. It's nothing that you win, or it's nothing that you find or anything like that. This is like you worked for this. You've been working for this for a while, and you're finally starting to see it come in. And it might not totally be here. I always say, 7, it's not symmetrical. It's not a symmetrical card. It's uneven. There's always like this just one piece right there, just hanging, waiting. It's not symmetrical yet. So it's like, you're starting to see these things come in, finally. You're starting to see positivity. You're starting to see all the, business success, work success. If you don't have a job, maybe you're finally getting some good news about a job coming in. The other thing I will say about this week is that a lot of Pisces could be seeing love coming in. I know Pisces are just dying for love, like pretty much all Pisces. If you're in a relationship, it's going to be very strong, but I know that Pisces in particular, you've been wanting love very, very strongly, and I see that a lot of you will probably be seeing the beginning of that again. You've probably been working for love even. Maybe even changing your life so that you could attract more love into your life in the form of a significant other. And when I get 2 hearts cards, that could be a lot of love coming in for you guys. So all in all, an excellent week. I think you're gonna have a very positive week. There isn't one negative card here. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it.